Pen? Yeah. All right, you're in.
Well, hello, this is John Ryan, and joining me is Brian Cawthorn.
Hello.
Did I get your last name right?
Not at all.
Cawthorn?
Cawthorn.
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 Yeah, how many years have I known you and I don't even know how to pronounce your name?
Since 2001. It's all good. I can't even pronounce my own name sometimes, so it's all
right.
All gravy.
We're all good. This is the first quarterfinal matchup of the day. We've got the Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Yes.
North Carolina finished second in Group A.
2-1 record, yeah.
2-1 record. Ohio State finished third in Group B. Group B was a smaller group, and they're 0-2. But pool play is over. This is the quarterfinals. Doesn't matter what's happened before. What matters now is win and advance.
Yes. Yes. Winner advances to the semifinals. The loser advances to the consolation stage. This is a big game for both of these teams. This is the difference between possibly medaling and not medaling at all.
And going into the classification rounds if you lose this match.
Yes. All right, here we're starting with Ohio State. Attacking save, Rob Gambino. Bringing the ball up for North Carolina is 20-year-old Aaron Ham. He's going to take it in for himself, or it's a free throw. Aaron Ham's just recently come back from Kosovo with the United States under-21 national team.
Yeah, I've noticed even from last year significant improvement in play. He just looks smart out there in terms of his passing, and a lot of the goals for North Carolina are either scored by him or set up by him.
Speaking of breakthrough, goal scored there, and he's hurt. Maybe we're gonna stop play here.
Wow.
Aaron Ham is down, and he is clutching his right leg.
I think I heard him said, "Oh, it's all right." So hopefully it is.
All right. Did the trainer come on? The ref is going to say the trainer was called on. He's going to have to sit out for 3 offensive plays here.
That's quite the knee brace he's got on there, too.
Yeah. That's another thing I've seen him gain as the season's gone along. He's gone from the 2 small knee bands to an entire brace. Life of a handballer, I guess. Anyway, we've got Ohio State here on offense. Foul there by Joe Piscatelli. It's going to be a free throw for Ohio State. Going to start the play. Joseph Disler is playing as center back right now with Devin Bartlett to his right. And that is, I have trouble with numbers when they have vertical hoops. Is that number 9, you believe? No, it's number 4. Mark Leopold, while I was talking there, goal scored there by Ohio State. And it's 1-1.
Who's number 9?
Number 9 is Jake Kennedy.
He wins the haircut of the tournament award so far.
He's going to win that mini tournament. That's a goal scored there by North Carolina. Did you see the number of that?
I did not.
I have a feeling it was number 1, Joe Piscatelli, but I'm not 100% sure there because I was busy looking up names. Anyway, Ohio State's in attack here. Jump shot there, broken play, may try to reset. No, Devin Barton's going to take it for himself, a little wide.
And most of the scoring I heard was from number 26, Devin Bartlett.
Devin Bartlett, he is number 2 on the scoring charts right now with 22 goals in 2 games. pretty goal scored there by number 4, Nick Vorobyev. (3-1) is your score. Stop clock here. We're going to get a yellow card. Yes, we are. Number 21 for North Carolina with the yellow card. That is Josiah Dayton. We're going to restart play. Foul there. Free throw. Mark Leopold's coming up a little limpy. He's going to set out for a bit. Take a look at himself. And checking in the game is Joseph Smitkin.
And this, I believe, is Ohio State's third match of the day, too. So they might be feeling it a little bit by now.
Yeah. They got a late start to this tournament, but they've been making up. They may be a little winded. Not winded enough to make that defensive play, but he cut inside. That's a free throw for Carolina.
Yeah, it looks like he cut through the 6 to get that ball.
Yeah. Trying to start quickly, nothing there. Joe Piscatelli is going to slow this down and start the offense again. Dylan Brooks, Piscatelli, over to the wing. Aaron Ham's back in the game. He tries to find the pivot. He does, but he's wrapped up for a free throw.
Just couldn't quite get the turn on him.
Aaron Ham looks like he's okay. Don't see any signs of him moving gingerly at all. Keep it moving. Laws, Brooks, Piscatelli, Aaron Ham, over to the wing. Nothing there. They're going to reset it. Back around into the pivot. 7 is the call. Referees for this match are Dom Boykin and Anthony Knox, more commonly known as Scott. Okay. Taking the penalty now is Jordan Mason. Scoring the penalty now is number 3, Jordan Mason for UNC. And Ramses is over in the corner looking pleased with that shot. 4-1 is your score. I think Narrow House it will try to reset. Devin might go in for himself now over to the wing. Good save that Rob getting you a second chance opportunity here. Free throw. Bartlett, Disler, back to Bartlett. Free throw.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah. All right. They're going to switch Disler back to center back right now. Nothing going on the left side. It's a simple movement. Devin Bartlett, spin, turn, fire.
Nice play there by Devin Bartlett. You got the looks like he's played a while.
Yes.
What's the backstory on number 26, Devin Bartlett?
Number 26, Devin Bartlett. He is a 27-year-old grad student waiver from the University of the Ohio State University. Excuse me. I don't have any other background information on him, but I will say that he has played with Columbus Armada this season while in grad school. And that's a goal there by number 15, Dylan Brooks. But yeah, Devin Bartlett has some experience playing this game.
He's got good movement, quick, and he's strong too.
Yeah.
You can see that. He's a little more polished than the rest of the Ohio State team, but he could use a little bit more polish. He's kind of a brute force kind of guy there on attack.
That might be a result of this being the third game of the day. Save there, Rob Gambino. They come, Aaron Ham's breaking left side, nothing there. Maybe a chance in the middle. Piscatelli Barging? Yes, barging is the call. No goal.
Barging? You're going with the British charge, huh? British Irish charge.
What's his name? The one who calls the games for the EHF Champions League.
You got Chris O'Reilly or
Not Chris O'Reilly.
Tom O'Branigan.
Tom O'Branigan. Yeah, you may be stuck in my head a little bit.
Well, I remember the first time I heard that was 93 World Championships, and Paul Bray was the first time I'd heard him, and yeah, it was. Hey, now that's appropriate for North Carolina to get a pass like that, isn't it?
Goal scored there by Joe Piscatelli.
What reference? What Final Four reference is that to? 93, 94?
As someone who lives in the DMV, I don't want to talk about it.
The DMV?
The DC metro area.
DC metro area? Yeah. Well, if we get some dead time, I have another good story about North Carolina basketball and the Timeout restaurant.
Oh yeah.
That's handball related.
Free throw there earned by Joseph Disler. Fake there, nothing doing. They're going to slow down and reset. There's a second pivot in.
It's a 93 reference. Stand on the two. I think he's talking about whatever year you guys are.
Oh, okay. We've been told it's 93.
Oh wait, I thought it was 84. I bet you were making a James Worthy reference there.
I've got several references to make fun of North Carolina basketball, and we can do both. 93 was the infamous timeout. I think 84 was maybe the pass to Eric Sleepy Floyd's assist to James Worthy, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. 7-meter there scored by Devin Bartlett, 6-3 game. Passes a little air, a little wild. There goes Mark Leopold on his own. Bit wild, free throw only. We're going to get it restarted here. Carolina's going to extend out in the 5-1 with the one targeting Devin Bartlett. Disler, though, it's going to stay right in the middle. Goes 1v1 himself off the upright. No goal. Carolina might have a break here. They find Aaron Ham. That's a bit of a wild pass.
It would have been awesome if somebody had been there to pick it up.
Yeah.
But mostly a pass to nowhere.
Yeah, it's...
We got a North Carolina expert. He's telling me 82 was Sleepy Floyd.
It was 82, yeah. Hi, Miles. Yeah, hope California is going well for you out there. Miles Bacon, for those who don't know, was a mainstay of this program for the past... what was I saying? Miles Bacon was a mainstay of this North Carolina program for the past 18-plus years. He was the leading scorer at the 2001 College National Championships. Yes, I just happen to know that. Ooh, nice save there by Dale Farrell-Harris on the break. That's going to be Ohio State's ball.
Well, Ohio State's sticking with them here. It looked a little bit at first like it might get out of hand, but they're keeping in contact, at least so far.
Yeah, as long as they slow down the game, I think they have a chance here. If they can slow down the game and execute a little better on offense, they can take away Ohio State's strengths. Not Ohio State's strengths, UNC's strengths.
Yeah.
That's a pass that hits an Air Force player in the face on the sidelines.
Well, Ohio State is missing several of their players in some conflicts, I guess, with finals. And I talked with their head coach, J.D. Orr, and he indicated that they were missing some of their key players.
Yeah.
And so I guess the bad news is they're a little bit weaker. The good news is some guys were going to get a lot of good experience this weekend.
Goal scored there by Dylan Brooks, making this a 7-3 game. That's Dylan's second of the afternoon. But yeah, this is a good chance to get experience for a lot of the they've got a couple of young players on this Ohio State team, man. Guys that are going to grow into being mainstays for the next 2-3 seasons. We're going to get this restarted in a moment. 12:08 left to go in the first half. 7-3 is your score. Kennedy to Bartlett. Bartlett goes on his own, free throw only. Disler, Bartlett. Bartlett will slow it down, bring it back to Disler. We're going to see a movement coming at some point, I believe. There we go, passes the pivot. Goal scored there by number 9, Jake Kennedy. Going to bring it back the other way here, over the wing to Alex Laws. Goal scored by number 18, David Alex Laws.
And nice shot there on the wing. You can tell the North Carolina guys have been schooled in the basics of handball. They still need to get more polish on it, but that was a nice wing shot.
Yeah. Alex is young. I believe he's 20. Let me take a look at that after this. We hit a free throw here. There it comes. And yeah, Alex is 21 years old.
How old is I apologize. I had the wrong score sheet name. Another game I called. I guess Nick Volberoff. Am I getting the right?
Good save there by Rob Gambino on the through. No foul called. Nick Vorobiev awake secondary break. What? Okay, now we're getting a little crazy. That's a goalkeeper throw.
Yeah, it looks like he stepped into the line as he tried the toss in.
Nick Vorobiev is 20 years old.
Yeah. Well, and I've actually been pretty. That's number 4 there on the wing, right?
That is number 4 on the wing.
Yeah,
yes, for UNC.
He's doing well. He needs his positioning a little bit more. He kind of. We'll wait till they're on offense. I'll show you the issue.
You were talking about his defensive positioning there because it seems like he's cheating in a little bit right now. And in the sense of Ohio State's making most of the attacks in the middle, fast break. Goal scored there by number 4, Nick Vorobiev. That's his second. 9-4 is the score. 9:28 left to go in the first half. But it seems like all of Ohio State's offense is 1v1 play, and it's coming right down the middle.
Yeah, and their passing is it's just losing a little bit of that crispness.
Yeah.
It makes it harder to do that one-on-one play when you're kind of stand, pass, catch, move.
No momentum.
Exactly.
Set shot there by Devin Bartlett. No good. There's a rainbow caught. Is it keeper ball? It is. Okay. You know what? I'd like to forget. I just saw that. That's okay with everyone involved. All respect. Okay. It is Ohio State's ball. They're going to settle down here. They could do by running a movement here. He throws it away. Carolina's ball. Now we're breaking the other way. Alex, you're all alone. Please do not try anything fancy. Thank you. Goal scored there by David Alex Laws. We're going to get a timeout here from Ohio State, and they're going to talk this over. It's a 10-4 game.
Yeah, it's starting to slip a little bit away. I guess maybe it's time for handball story number 1 for North Carolina.
Yeah, while Rowan Shaw goes and talks to his team, gets them ready.
Right.
Regale me.
So, 93 final championship game.
Yeah.
I was with the national team in Colorado Springs, and we watched that game. Down at Beckett's in Colorado Springs, and I can't think of his name, and he's my teammate. I can't think. Went to school in North Carolina.
Okay.
God, it's driving me up the wall. He was on the national team.
Yeah.
You
know what?
God.
I don't have any archives in the national team from the early 90s.
It's just driving me up the wall. But anyway, as soon as they won that match, or won that final game,
yeah,
and you had the infamous timeout with Chris Webber.
Yeah.
I turned to my teammate, North Carolina grad, and I said, Oh, poor North Carolina. They just can't win a legitimate national championship. They have to have the other team throw it to them. That's a shame for you North Carolina guys. And he was not happy with my assessment of that victory. But he knew my analysis was also true because they had also won the championship with the pass to the Georgetown pass to North Carolina to win the game. So it's like they never won it on their own. They always had to have the other team throw it to them. And I'm sure if Miles is listening, he can tell me who the guy, I can't think of his name, is right now.
So,
no, not Steve Penn, African American.
my mind is drawing a blank.
Not John Keller either. God, it's just driving me up the wall.
But while Miles is trying to figure this out for us.
Yeah, let's watch the game.
Okay. While we're watching the game, Devin Bartlett's going to slow it down for the Ohio State University. Got two pivots in. If they move it more momentum, they might be able to take advantage of this. Goes in for himself, free throw. Bit of a heavy fall, but he's okay. Let me just make sure. John, are you a Duke fan?
You got to be kidding me, right?
Just want to make sure. Because,
right.
We're surrounded by Carolina blue. We're in ACC territory.
Well.
And you had that story about North Carolina. Devin Bartlett fakes left, goes right. Goal scored there by Devin Bartlett. We got a yellow card coming here for number 20, Alec Wallenius Caldwell. Goal scored there by Devin Bartlett.
Yes, it was Robert Mayfield.
Robert Mayfield, yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't remember his name, but Robert was a great teammate. And like I said, he did not appreciate my assessment on North Carolina's hollow championships.
Naturally.
But, the interesting, a good point here is it tells you a little bit about the North Carolina handball program here that we rattled off 3 names of national team players, 2 Olympians. And this program goes way back.
Yeah, this program was started by Dr. Silva in 1989. They've got 3 college national championships to their name, but they've been a mainstay on the East Coast since they've been founded. The Blue Cup tournament is one of the big tournaments of the season, and this program has turned out numerous alumni in the world of handball.
It is certainly a model program for others to follow.
Aaron Ham going in for himself. No foul. Saved there by Dale Farrell-Harris. And I can hear Rowan Shaw in front of me telling his lads, well done. 10-5 is our score. 5:40 left to go. Passes a little errant. Back around. Maybe the pass to the wing. Loses it. I don't think he had that much space to begin with.
He wasn't positioned properly, and the pass was just too hard.
Speaking of a good pass, Jordan Mason got near into that one, and he buried that home. 11-5 is our score. Rises, fires a little high. They're going to say it was tipped. That's a corner throw.
Corner.
Yes, it's a corner throw. We're going to get this right.
We got the Tar Heel mascot in the house.
Yeah. Ramses is his name.
Why the Egyptian?
Because he's a ram.
All right.
I'm guessing that's.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
that's a good
it.
point.
But mascots all goal scored there by Nick Vorobiev on the break, but mascots all tend to have names like that.
Yeah. Well, and then I don't know if Truman, is it Truman Broody Boyd?
Yes, Truman is not here today.
Not here today. And not only is he a player for Virginia, but he was Cav Man
Yes, he
this
was.
season.
He's been Cav Man for a few seasons. But this season especially, he was Cav Man. Goal scored there by Aaron Ham.
Yeah, nice finish there by Aaron Ham.
For the national championship game, yellow card there, given the number 32 of Ohio State University. That is James Fesco. We're going to restart play.
So, yeah, I mean, you kind of go, mascot. Who wants to? It's kind of like being a male cheerleader a little bit. But, wow,
Yeah.
Final Four on the court.
He was on the court for the national championship game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
I would even be a mascot. Not that I wouldn't be like the Irish dude for Notre Dame, but maybe if I could cover myself up, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
Why, Miles is telling us that the Ram is a nickname of a football player from back in Carolina lore.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, Miles. I do not follow ACC football. I missed that one. That's on me.
Well, I guess now that they've added some decent teams to the conference, it's actually respectable now. But, yeah.
If only they'd had Maryland back.
Let's put it like this. North Carolina handball is more prestigious than North Carolina football.
Yes, it is. 2:48 left to go here in the first half. 13-5 score. Disler. That's a bit of a broken play. We're going to say barging there. Aaron Ham breaks. 3v0. Nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Just a good, solid goal there by number 21, Josiah Dayton.
And you can see that thin bench, third game, North Carolina is starting to get past them on the break now.
Yeah. Yeah. Big court isn't helping, but see what Ohio State can do here. Broken play on the wing. Did he get tripped? He got tripped. Maybe a card? No, just a 7. Just a 7.
Well, that is one thing you're seeing a lot more, though, especially on those wing shots. If you foul the player and it's deemed dangerous, you're seeing them go to red cards more and more in that sort of situation.
I remember this happening. Goal scored there by number 3 from Ohio State, Brendan Herbert. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But yeah, I seem to remember a youth national team game against Chile.
Yes,
in
that
Chile.
was a big game.
Yeah.
And Sam Hodderson, who was the leading scorer for the U.S., did get
Good passing in the pivot, sorry to cut you off. Goal scored there by Josiah Dayton. It's his second.
Did get a red card, and that pretty much doomed the U.S.'s chances there to take third place and qualify for the World Championships, the Junior World Championships.
Yeah. Like I said, I've seen that get carded. I've seen that get 2. The red steal there by Aaron Ham. They're going to say he doubled. Aaron's not believing it. Ramses isn't believing it, but it's Ohio State's ball anyway. Funky pass there. Reaches his target, but the ball gets lost there. Aaron Ham left side's going to take it for himself. Tries to find the pivot there. The angle was not there.
A little bit of a basketball move there by Aaron.
Yeah.
He's learning, but a little bit too much dribbling.
16 seconds left to go in this half. Score is 15-6. Kelly's going to try to make it 16-6. Very quickly for Robiov. For stolen, Devin Bartlett. He's got 5 seconds. They're going to call illegal dribble. And all Devin can do is laugh about it because that's halftime. He says he did it. Yeah, he did it. 15-6 is your score at the half. Carolina up on the Ohio State University.
Well, we'll take a short break, but stick around. I've got another North Carolina handball story for you.
All right.
That you won't want to miss.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
My mic is out of position.
Yeah.
How's that? That sounds a little better. No, it doesn't. Hi, everyone. We're back. Second half.
Well, I wish Cavman was here so he could take on Ramsey in a little one-on-one handball showdown.
My money's on Cavman there. I don't think UNC's a 16 seed.
Well, who is? Oh, too soon. I guess now that they won a national title, it's okay.
It's never too soon.
Did you hear my podcast last year with the Virginia guy?
Yeah.
And somehow UMBC came up, and he was just like, too soon. And now they're national champions.
It's never too soon. I made that joke with the UVA guys the day after the game, and it wasn't too soon.
Yeah, that game's more memorable than their national title.
Goal scored there by number 5, Ross Whipke. 16-6. Yeah. And then it almost happened again this season.
Yeah.
Gardner Webb.
Hey, sometimes you play to the level of your competition.
Yeah.
Although to North Carolina's credit, they are asserting themselves as the better team here.
They're taking care of business against an understaffed Ohio State team, and
Are you downplaying the legitimacy of this victory?
No, because it is legit. It's one game's not over. We still got 24 minutes here. We don't know what Ohio State can do. Roland Shaw has checked in for the first time. This is my first time ever seeing him. Who knows what could happen? But UNC has been clinical in defense, and they've broken successfully. Shouldn't say clinical because they got a little silly in that first half. But yeah, they've taken a solid lead here. Free throw there earned by Mark Leopold. Bartlett left side. Ooh, goes by himself. No call.
Yeah, former coach Miles Bacon points out that he's watching. That he hates that Ohio State is not at full strength, just because they had such a great match in the Buckeye Fall Classic final.
They did. It was a 24-20 victory by Carolina at the No, wait, that was not the final. Goal scored there by. Did you see who that was? I heard a name from the Carolina bitch who said it was the refrigerator, but I do not know who that is. And you know what? That's a goal for Carolina. And a free throw. And we're going to see a card here on number 2, yellow card. That is someone who did not put their number on the roster. Let's see if the table catches it. That's going to be a 2-minute penalty right there for number 4, Mark Leopold. You can't do that. At 17-6, the winner of this game will move on to the semifinal game at 7:15 tonight against the winner of our next game here, the United States Air Force Academy versus the University of Virginia. Saved there by Dale Farrow-Harris. Goal scored there by Dylan Brooks. But yeah, going back to that comment a minute ago, the final of the Buckeye Fall Classic, Carolina defeated Ohio State Scarlet, their first team, 29-24, in what was said to be an excellent game. And that was Carolina's only tournament victory this year, and they're trying to make college nationals number 2. All right, we've got Roland Shaw here to Dissler. Dissler, broken ball. They're going to reset up again. Empty left. Bartlett goes in for himself. No foul. Save made. Rob Gambier, we're going the other way for Carolina. Dylan Brooks going to go 1v1 over to Jordan Mason. That was...
Oh, yeah, they went straight for the 2-minute, but that's the exact type of play that more and more leads to a red card.
That is dangerous. 2-minute penalty there for Joseph Disler. The player who was fouled there, Jordan Mason, knows the 7. He's okay. He thinks he's okay. He thinks he's okay enough to take the 7. Goal scored there by Jordan Mason. That's his 3rd.
It looks like North Carolina's marking Ohio State's best player.
Devin Bartlett, yes. They're going to make them play 3v5 the rest of the court.
Yeah, and just watching Bartlett, he's got some legitimate raw skills, talent. And I'm curious, maybe Miles knows whether he played anything in college. He's a little short for football, but I'm sure he might have been a terror in high school.
I'm sure he played something. I'm sure I have old notes about something. I cannot recall what he played. But he fits in. But on a team like his club team, Columbus Armada, he plays, what's the word I want to use here? In rhythm with his teammates a bit more.
Than this team here, which is more experienced and hasn't played together as much and hasn't played as much handball either.
Yeah. I think that's what you're seeing here is the experience factor coming into play more than any sort of lack of technical skills. It's when you're the very talented NBA player and you go play in the Greek 2nd division or 3rd division. Goal scored there by number 13, Jack Moore. You're the first option, and everyone knows it. And right now, everyone knows Devin Bartlett is Ohio State's first option.
So we got Miles Bacon and J.D. Orr actually coming on. J.D. says he played. Miles said he played football, then J.D. said he played basketball. And he was a point guard at a small school in Cincinnati.
All right. Goal scored there by Jordan Mason. Hey, JD. Sorry you couldn't be with us this weekend. Hope everything's all right. 21-7 is our score.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, apparently JD had a car accident on the way here.
Yeah, but from all accounts, he says he's okay. So we're glad you're okay, JD.
Yeah. And JD says Devin has only been playing a year of handball.
Okay. And that's a 2-minute penalty for Devin Bartlett, as we're talking about him.
And sometimes you talk about, what's the type of build, what's the type of player that could be a really good handball player. And, he has that kind of build and the ability to handle contact, almost relishes it, if you will.
Yeah, good save there by Dale Farrell-Harris.
But that sort of skill can be used some in basketball, but it really is not as useful skill as it is in handball.
Yeah.
And plus, he seems to have a pretty good throwing arm. Yeah, I have no idea whether he's a dead-eye shooter from deep, but.
No, he's got the physical skills. Goal scored there by our mysterious number 2.
As North Carolina opens up a 15-goal lead, I guess maybe it's time for story number 2.
I'm thinking about how the technical director is going to need to review this player to make sure he's eligible after this game, and hopefully he is.
Sure. And I guess this is another thing, as we're looking to try and build our collegiate program, we're trying to get things built up. You take a player like that and you start him playing handball at age 18 or 19 instead of, he's 20, 27?
He's 27, yeah.
Yeah, it's great, but imagine him starting handball at age 18, 19.
Broken play there, controlled by Ross Ripke and put in 23 to 7, excuse me. But yeah, you imagine someone with that sort of core, that sort of raw
Skill set.
And you get them training.
And what do you have to do to convince somebody like that to say, hey, small school basketball or handball, maybe being a future player at a higher level like the national team. What's the how do we build up our college programs to the point where that's a legit decision that someone makes?
That's a good question.
Nice move there.
Jordan Mason, that's his fifth. So while you're talking about this, and you mentioned that, and we mentioned that Devin Bartlett has only been playing for a year, I was thinking about Aaron Ham.
Well, he is the exact. I was so excited last year when I saw him play.
Yeah.
And then I found out he was a freshman.
Yeah.
That is awesome, because usually for our college programs, we develop that sort of skill set that he has now.
7.
As a junior or senior.
Yeah.
You get to that level that he has now as a sophomore. And so that's a credit to the North Carolina program for recruiting a guy like that as a freshman.
Not just recruiting, but building in the program, teaching the technical skills,
And both are really important, though.
Teaching the workout skills and the discipline and everything.
But you also got to get that player on your team as well.
Yeah.
And that's, they're both. It's a recruiting, marketing job, and then it's a developmental job. And North Carolina's doing a good job of both.
Yeah. And Aaron, he had never seen handball until his freshman year.
Yeah.
And just a few weeks ago, he was in Kosovo.
Yeah.
So let's get the awareness out there. Let's. Save made there by UNC. No break. You're going to slow it down. It's a bit of a silly pass, but it's okay. UNC might try to move here with some pace. And I think that's been one of the differences we've seen between the two teams on offense. It's that goal scorer by Jordan Mason, that UNC is able to change the pace at will. They're able to control the ball when they're changing the pace. And that's just been the one thing, unfortunately, that that's one of core thing, I should say, Ohio State's missing. I'm wondering how many of these Ohio State players went to Denmark last month.
That's a very good question, and I'm sure JD will fill us in on that.
Yeah. And I wonder, because those of you who don't know, the Ohio State University program went to Denmark last month to train with a couple of clubs in Denmark, with Idræts Golden Aarhus in Denmark. Ooh, look at that goal there by Devin Bartlett.
And JD says that Devin is contemplating going to Europe for law school or staying stateside to help start a team at the University of Dayton.
All right. I like the Flyers. I like law school, kind of. I'm not in it. I thought about law school once.
All right, well, you and I have known each other since 2001.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Did you come to the tournament here in Carolina that fall?
Not that fall, because that fall I was, 1, a senior in high school, and 2, recovering from a neck injury.
All right.
My first indoor tournament was this tournament in 2003, which I think was right after you moved to Paris.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the first tournament.
Big save there by Rob Gambino. That's unlucky there for Mark Leopold, but he got it in there. And there's a goal scored.
No way. How did he catch that, score that without getting into 6?
Jack Moore.
Nice play. So was that
Dale is a pivot. Is that what I'm reading?
yeah, and it says Brendan and Jake normally play left wing.
Yeah. Brendan is Brendan Herbert, number 3, and Jake is Jake Dissler, who's been playing center back most of this tournament. They usually play wing, and the goalkeeper here, Dale Farrah Harris, is a natural pivot.
But, you know, sometimes that's good to play outside of your position to have a better appreciation of how you get the ball
And you might
and
find
where you need to be to get the ball, because you see how if you're a wing and you're playing backcourt, you're seeing, now I understand what the backcourt's going through and how I need to get the ball to the wing. Or even the few times I played backcourt, I had a greater appreciation of how hard it is to work that ball into the circle runner.
Yeah. I remember you writing something years ago, something about how, or maybe you just told me this, that it took you 5 years to learn how to play back.
I never learned how to play backcourt. I mean, I can see what needs to be done, but
Shot off the post there.
and I think that's one of the things that people don't fully comprehend. People that are new to handball, just how hard it is to play backcourt effectively, to be able to shoot the ball with a good defense on you, and to be able to pass that ball off to the wing and the circle with good passes that those people can take and use. All of those aspects are very difficult to learn and become really difficult to learn when you have good defense against you.
Yeah.
And it's not so hard to go out there and kind of do it, especially against a defense that doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't hit you hard. But, boy, against a good defense.
A team that's going to be aggressive, a team that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. That's where it becomes something that takes years to really learn how to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got Derek out there. And that's not Derek. He looked like Derek from the back. My bad.
John Ryan, are you saying that, I'm not going to say that. We're good.
We're not going to say?
Not going to say it.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll change topics.
I was going to say, do you think that all left backs look alike?
No, but, you got that hair up top and whatnot. From behind.
There's a 4-inch difference in height there.
I understand. I played with Derek for a little bit.
I'm just giving John a hard time.
But what I was getting at with the Derek Heath, backcourt player for the United States, 96 Olympian, is I saw him develop as a player from when he just started until he started to get it, how to get the ball into the circle runner, how to play to the wing. And that was an evolution that took several years for him to be more than just the one-dimensional jump out of the gym shooter.
Yeah.
That's something that that took a lot of work, a lot of time for him to get there. And it's something he did not get to until, he's on the downward side of his career, because he started playing later.
Yeah, but he started playing after he finished his basketball career at CW Post.
Yep.
Which is now Long Island University Post, I believe.
Nice shot.
Carolina ran one of their standard movements there, and a goal scored there by number 13, Jack Moore.
So anyway, 2001 fall Carolina tournament. What do they call that when they don't call it the
Tar Heel Invitational?
Tar Heel Invitational. The very first matches played by the DC Diplomats.
Yes.
And
indoors, I should say.
Indoors, yes.
Goal scored there by number 3, Brendan Herbert.
So it's a brand new team, a lot of expats from just about every country in the world. I mean, that was probably why we went with the Diplomats name,
Yeah.
plus the alliteration, of course. But we went to get something to eat, and they didn't have a Wendy's across the street. And I think the nearest place was the Time Out restaurant. Is that still around?
The Timeout restaurant? Yes, it is.
And what a cool restaurant that place is. It's it's nothing fancy,
Yeah.
but it has all these pictures of famous people giving a timeout symbol.
Yeah.
There's Michael Jordan. I'm sure there's one of Coach Dean. And then they have this massive, do they still have the massive photo of Chris Webber?
I believe they do.
I saw that, and I just burst out laughing. It is a humongous picture of Chris Webber calling the infamous timeout at the 93 final championship game. The timeout, of course, which allowed North Carolina to win because North Carolina couldn't win a title on their own. So we're sitting in line to get, some sandwiches.
Save their, sorry. One of the Ohio State players is holding his mouth while Carolina goes. Ref's not stopping the game. Free throw earned. Taking a look. He's checking his mouth. Number 4, Mark Leopold. He's going to sub out. I think he's okay, but he's going to check to make sure. Game's still going on. Goal scored there by number 13, Jack Moore.
And it extends the lead to 20. So we're getting some, breakfast sandwiches or something like that, and I see this huge photo, and I just burst out laughing because, and let's get the explanation there.
Dale Farrell Harris changed his jersey number and into the game as a core player, and he forgot to register it. The ref is going to be a little lenient here and say, okay.
20-goal game, really.
Yeah, but he should have gone to the table beforehand. And
my understanding is that restaurant was actually called the Timeout Restaurant before that timeout, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And for them to have this timeout and give North Carolina a championship. So I saw that, and I just burst out laughing. And what do you think the expats' reaction was?
What is this?
Why are you laughing hysterically? And I'm laughing hysterically because they've got the most infamous timeout honored in their restaurant. And then I proceeded to explain to the Egyptian, the Tunisian, the German, the French guy, about North Carolina. How North Carolina never has won a championship on their own. They always have to have, something nice happen to them to win a title. At which point the folks behind the counter started saying, you do realize where you're at now with this explanation. But anyway, that's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah.
That was a fun tournament. I mean,
no goal there. Ross Rookie was inside
yes.
6.
You got a new team and you got a lot of new personalities, and we're all trying to get together and bond as a team.
So what better way to bond than to take a road trip
down to
Carolina?
Down to North Carolina.
Save there, Rob Gambino. Ball stolen there by Devin Bartlett. He's just going to... No. Ref's going to call continuation there. That's not a goal.
The other interesting thing I remember was, this was not too long after 9/11.
Yeah, it was very soon after that. It was like 2-3 months after
9/11. We got all these different nationalities. Some of them, from Arabic countries, and that was kind of the thing I had to say. Guys, I'm in the Air Force, but you guys aren't part of that problem. We're a team here, and North Carolina on the break.
Goal scored there by number 2, Zachary Hudspeth.
Yeah. But one of the things I'll never forget about that tournament was there was protesters here at UNC.
Yeah.
Protesting the U.S. This is 2001, protesting the U.S. invasion of Afghanistan. And That was, to me, was at that time, that was pretty mind-boggling to me. But that, that's one of the great things about handball, different people, nationalities and stuff. You know, that you meet and you talk about those sorts of things. And you get an appreciation for everybody.
You learn a lot about the world.
Oh, you certainly do.
Even if you only travel to North Carolina. Not to say North Carolina's not a bad place to travel. Goal scored there by Dale Farrell Harris. So 30-10.
So let's look at the potential matchups for North Carolina.
All right. Say North Carolina's going to take this one in the end, most likely. They're looking to play at 7:15 on this court, on this channel, against the winner of our next game here, the United States Air Force Academy and the University of Virginia.
Air Force clear favorite in this match?
I think Air Force is favored in this match. It's a long court, and this Virginia team is a little tired. That said, if any team has historically had Air Force's number, it's the University of Virginia.
Well, certainly the last couple seasons, anyway. Yeah. I think the Air Force does have the edge. Let's say that they do pull out the win against Virginia.
Where'd you go to school anyway, by the way?
I went to the Air Force Academy.
Okay, let's keep going.
Let's say that does happen. How do you see an Air Force North Carolina semifinal?
2-minute penalty there for Dale Farrell Harris. I believe that is the handball equivalent of the Gordie Howe hat trick, a save, a goal in 2 minutes. But North Carolina Air Force semifinal would potentially be a very up and down affair. I expect it to be high scoring. Considering that the two largest fan bases here, I believe, are Air Force and North Carolina.
Quite a few West Point people here as well.
Yeah, quite a few West Point people here. Hi, Mindy. Some West Point people just walked by us as this game is going on. But yeah, I expect that to be I have a raucous crowd. I expect it to be an up and down affair. I expect it to be a little dramatic. Yeah, but it's going to be close.
Well, seeing both teams play,
and
showing my unbiased here, I would say that North Carolina is a solid favorite in that match.
I would say that North Carolina is tactically superior to what I've seen from Air Force so far, but I'm not discounting Air Force at all because they are in slightly, and by slightly I mean they are in shape and they are built and ready for this sort of game.
Very interesting.
Goal scored there by Mark Leopold, by the way.
Last night against West Point Gold, they played a very aggressive, practically a man-to-man defense most of the second half.
Yeah.
And it really disrupted West Point Gold, Army's second team, if you will. And I don't think that sort of defense is going to work against North Carolina.
No, I think one, North Carolina does practice that defense themselves, so it's not going to be a surprise to them at all. Goal scored there by number 3 Jordan Mason. I don't think Ohio State unfortunately found that very sportsmanlike, but that's a cultural thing in some ways.
Ohio State will drop down to classification. They will play 2 matches, a round robin, if you will, against the other quarterfinal.
Goal scored there
teams.
By Mark Leopold. He's down. That was a pretty wing shot, but now he's down. He's holding his calf, I believe. Not something you want to see with 12 seconds left on the clock. But this may just be a cramp. He's up. I don't think we're going to see another shot on goal this game.
I would hope not.
Yeah. Because that's going to do it for us here in this quarterfinal game. Final score is 32-12.
Now, if you had Ohio State and 20 points, you were sweating that last 9 seconds.
Are you talking about gambling?
No.
Oh, okay. Because that would be rather historic, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say?
For a USA handball point spread, yes. But
Yeah.
trust me, there's all sorts of point spreads for professional matches in Europe.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway.
On that note, we're going to say farewell from this game here. 32-12 is your final score. And University of North Carolina, Carolina Team Handball Club advances to the semifinals.